Good morning, everyone. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we were doing about perfect square trinomial and how to factorize that. Any difficulties there? All clear? Anyone has difficulties in perfect square trinomial? Okay, so today we're going to do with quadratic expressions. Can anybody tell me what is a quadratic expression? We've already done this earlier when we were talking about the different kinds of algebraic expressions. We had talked about quadratic expressions. What were quadratic expressions? Okay, let us recall. If I have something like ax plus b, what type of expression is this? Anyone?
Algebraic expression.
Part, could you repeat yourself?
Algebraic expression.
Yeah, this is an algebraic expression. What kind of an algebraic expression?
Binomial.
No, we're not talking about the type of algebraic expression, as in what would this be called? This will be called a linear expression, right? Or a linear equation. If I say this is equal to 0. So this will be called a linear equation or a linear expression, right? Why is it
Yes.
called linear? Why is it called linear? Because the power of,
Power of the variables is 1.
not the variables, power of the expression is
1.
1. So whenever we have the power 1, we call it a linear expression, not the variables, because you already know that if I have two variables, it will be added up. For example, if I have ax, y, here it would be 1 and 1, so the expression would be 2. So whenever we say that the highest power of the expression is 1, then it's called the linear expression. What if we have something like this? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. What is the power? So Ramya, Rajvi, tell me what is the power of this expression or this equation? Since we have equal to 0, there's an equation. Anyone except Parth? Parth, you've already answered the first one. I want the others to participate. Avni, Krishna, Mahuri, Samita, Sara.
2
Power is 2. Why is it 2? Mahuri?
because it's the highest of all the variables.
Exactly. So if this you see the x squared, x, and that's it. So x will be 1. So in this case, it will be 2. So whenever we have any expression or an equation whose power is 2, it is called a quadratic expression or a equation. What's the difference between an equation and an expression? We have
Equ-
algebraic, we have an expression, and we have an equation. What's the difference between both?
Equation contains an equal to sign, while an expression is only expression does not contain an equal to
Yeah,
sign.
for example, in this case, ax squared plus bx plus c, this is the expression, whereas ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is called a equation. Then we also have an inequality. What is inequality? Instead of equal to sign, we will have less than or greater than sign, or less than equal to or greater than equal to. Right? We will be covering inequalities also later on. Okay. Is this part clear, everyone? If anybody is not clear about any concept, please raise your hand and ask me. Remember in the previous class, I told you about the three main principles of learning, which is TIA, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. You need to follow that. Okay. So now tell me, when we were doing splitting the middle term, we had a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. What was this, a quadratic expression? Think about it and let me know.
Yes, it is a quadratic equation.
Right? So we can even say that a perfect square trinomial would be a quadratic expression. But usually what happens in this, because what we will do is we can add a c as a constant 0 over here, right? Technically it will be, but overall we don't take it as a quadratic expression because there are two variables here and we don't have a c constant here. Okay? Usually a quadratic expression is only one variable with the highest power of 0. Now we are going to learn how to factorize these quadratic expressions. Okay. So let's start with a very basic quadratic expression. Okay, let me tell you the theory about splitting the middle term or factorizing a quadratic expression. To factorize a quadratic expression, remember we have to go through the first steps again. Common factors, grouping, identities, right? So this is the third identity which we are going to do. The first one was, what was the first identity we learned?
Difference of squares.
Yeah? Difference of
Difference
squares,
of
two squares. Second one was the perfect square trinomial, and the third one is now a quadratic equation. Okay? So always go in this order and see which one you're going to reach. This is subjective. You can just choose which one it is and solve it. But usually these steps will not have to be ignored. You have to go through the same order first. Remember this. Just don't see that I have a format of ax squared plus bx plus c and I'm going to easily solve it as a quadratic expression. It may happen that first you will need to take out a common factor and then solve it. Right? Is this part clear, everyone? This is a very common mistake you all do in factorization. Okay. So let's start with what exactly is a quadratic expression. We've already discussed that. We have three terms, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay. What is a? Sarah, what is a? Sarah, what is a? The numeric coefficient of x squared.
Yes.
What is b?
The numeric coefficient of x.
And what is c?
It's just c.
No, what is c here? The constant. Its value does not change. So for example, now let me compare it to you. So we'll take this with an example now. Now my term is x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay. Krishna, what is the value of a over here in this expression? What is a equal to? Krishna,
Yes, sir.
what is a equal to? We said a is the numeric expression of x squared. So what is the value of a over here?
Constant.
1, because it's usually whenever I don't have anything, it's usually 1, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the value of b?
1.
No. B is the numeric coefficient of x.
Yes.
So what is b over here? Krishna, what is the value of b?
I don't know.
What is in front of x, Krishna? Krishna, look over here. What is in front of x? What is before x? Krishna, you over here.
Yes, sir. So 6.
So what is the value of b?
So 6.
And what is the value of c? C is the constant term, which has no variable.
sir. 8.
8. Is this clear, everyone? What if I have 2x squared now here? What is the value of A, Krishna, in case I have 2x squared?
Sir, 2.
2. B will remain the same, C is remaining the same. Is this part clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts here? So the value of A will be whatever is in front of x squared. The value of B is whatever in front of x. And the value of C is whatever is the constant. No expression over there. No variable will be associated with that. Okay. So for example, if I had something like 2x squared plus 7x is equal to 5. Okay. Firstly, we are understanding how to convert an expression into an algebraic expression. Okay. Siddhant Garve.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what's the value of A? How firstly, is this a quadratic expression? 2x squared
No,
plus
sir.
7x is equal to 5. Or is this a quadratic equation?
No, sir.
How do we convert this to a quadratic equation? I want the format, remember everyone, I want the format ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic expression. I want to convert this to a quadratic equation. How would I do that? Siddhant, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, how do I convert that to a quadratic equation? I want it in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0.
So, ax square.
No, I have this now. 2x squared plus 7x is equal to 5. How do I convert this into a quadratic equation? That's what I'm asking you.
So 2x.
What will happen to the square?
Uh,
2x squared. Then
plus 7x
yeah,
plus
y plus. Won't I just transpose this over here on the left hand side? It'll become
Yes, sir.
minus 5 is equal to 0. Now is this the same format of this? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
Here plus c is a negative number. That's the only difference. But we have a x squared variable, we have a x variable, and we have a constant, isn't there?
Yes, sir.
Rajvi? Tell me the value of A over here in this expression, in this equation here. Rajvi, I cannot hear you. You're not audible, Rajvi. Avni,
Yes, sir.
what's the value of A?
2,
What's the value of B?
7,
What's the value of C?
minus 5.
Okay, now this is important. It's a minus 5. It's not plus 5. Or it's not just 5. Take the sign into consideration. What if this was 3x squared minus 7x plus 15 is equal to 0? Or let's say minus 15 is equal to 0. Parth, what's the value of A? Parth, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's the value of A?
3,
What's the value of B?
7,
No,
minus 7.
minus 7. What's the value of C?
So what is that between
Minus.
7x and 15?
Minus.
Minus 15.
Minus 15. Is this part clear, everyone? Including the sign, I want the value, not only the number. Everyone clear about this? Okay. If you all have a doubt, please ask me, because if this concept is not clear, You will never be able to do this factorization part. So now in this case, we have A is equal to 1, B is equal to 6, and C is equal to 8, right? Now what do? We want to factorize this expression into two factors, right? For this, we need two factors called P and Q. Ultimately, what we are going to do is this middle term, okay? That, see the, what is it called? It's called splitting the middle term. Which is the middle term? Bx. Bx has to be split into Px plus minus whatever it might be and Qx. So we need two factors P and Q. Okay. How do we do that? I will just let you know. Is this part clear, everyone? It can be a plus minus, whatever it might be. Here also it may be a plus minus. We will figure that out, how to do that. Ultimately, what we are doing is we are splitting the middle term into two factors. For example, yeah, okay, I'll come to the example. Bx we are splitting into Px and Qx. X as a variable will not change. You already know that. So only this part is going to be split into P and Q. For example, in this case, Krishna, which is the middle term in this expression here? In this, yeah?
Or 6x.
Okay, so what are we going to do to 6x? We're going to split it into two terms.
Yes, sir.
For example, I'll just give you a random example. I can make it 2x and 4x. So is 2x plus 4x equal to the middle term?
Yes, sir.
Right? I've taken plus 2x and plus 4x. This sign, how do we get it? I'll tell you the right now. Basically, the middle term has to be split into two. So what is the value of P over here? 2. And what's the value of Q over here? 4. Krishna, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So basically, what did I
Yes,
do?
sir.
I took 6x and I'm splitting this 6 into 2, which is the value of P, and x, because the variable is x. I cannot change the variable. And 2 and 4. So rather plus 2 and plus 4. And x again. And the value of this 4 was Q. Right? Is everybody clear so far? Any doubts? This will stay till 10th and even 12th. So please make sure that you're understanding clearly. If there is any doubt, let me know. Okay. Now, how do we decide what value should I split it into? I cannot just split it randomly. There has to be some rules, because you know maths is governed by rules, because otherwise what could I do? I could split this as x plus 5x. I can split this as 2 by 3x, and what will it be? 2, 4. I need a 2. 9x or 6x, sorry. But there is a rule. I cannot just randomly split it in whatever I want. Okay. Now this is an important rule. Please understand. To find out this value of P and Q, we want this number such that P plus Q equals to B. That is the sum of the factors. Whatever two numbers we're going to decide, the sum of them has to be the middle term. That is the value of B. And the product PQ is equal to A into C. That is the value of A into C. For 8th standard, okay, the value of A will always be 1. So we can just assume that it's only C. Okay. Or let's take it as AC only. Let's not confuse ourselves. So, because they might give you, I don't know. So the product of the terms is equal to AC. So sum of the terms is B, product of the terms is AC. So first rule, product of the terms is AC. Second rule, sum of the terms is the middle term, or the B, value of B. Is this clear? Please copy this down first, then I'll explain it to you in this sum. Everyone, please copy this. Again, if you all have a doubt, listen to me in this example, and then we'll solve another one, which you can see if you can solve it on your own. If you remember, we've done this earlier also in June, I guess. But again, let's get into this in detail. Done, everyone? Anybody still copying? Please raise your hand. Okay. Now let's go back here. What's the value of A? I want one of you to unmute yourself. Anyone? Unmute yourself.
1,
Okay. What's the value of B?
6,
What's the value of plus minus 6? That is important. Okay.
plus
Say
6,
what's the value of C?
plus 8.
Okay. Let me start with somebody. Avni.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to split the middle term into two values P and Q. So what should the sum of P and Q become?
6,
And what should the product be?
8.
8 into 1 plus 8 into
Yes.
plus 1. So that I'll get plus 8. Get into the habit of writing plus minus, okay? Now, can you think of any two numbers whose product is 8 and sum is 6?
4 and 2.
Okay, plus 4 plus 2 minus 4 minus 2 what?
Plus 4 plus 2.
An easy hint when you're doing this, what happens is take the product first and try to split the product. So I'll do 1 and 8. Does it work out? Is the sum of plus 1 and plus 8 plus 6? No, it isn't, right? So factorize this further into another factor. So we can do 2 and 4. Plus 4 plus 2. Do I get plus 6? Yes. So my value of P is plus 2. Then the value of Q is plus 4. Is this part clear, everyone? So we have two numbers now. We have plus 2 as P and plus 4 as Q. Their product is plus 8 and the sum is plus 6. All clear? So now we're going to rewrite this expression as x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 8. So what have I done? I've split the middle term into 2x and 4x, plus 4x and plus 2x. Any doubts, anyone over here? I'm going very slowly so that you'll understand clearly. But if you're still having a doubt, please ask me right now. Siddhant, is this clear? Krishna, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Krishna, tell me, what do I do now?
Sir, in the A square plus BX plus C.
No, we've reached over here. We split the middle term. So I've got x
Yes,
squared
we
plus
have
2x
done
plus
that.
4x plus 8. Now what do we do? Normally factorize. What are the normal steps of factorization? Common factors, grouping, and identities. Any common factor in all four? No. And grouping, yes, we can group it. Now there are 4 terms, so we can usually try to group it. Can you try to group them?
Yes, sir.
Try. Krishna, group them. Group the first two, Krishna, and,
Yes,
and then third and fourth. So let's try to group x squared and 2x and pluses outside 4x and plus 8. Okay, so what's common over here, Krishna? First term.
Yes, sir.
What's common?
Sir,
Between
X.
x and plus 2x.
Sir, X.
Okay, so we take out x. Okay, what will be inside?
Yes, sir.
X squared divided by x is?
Sir, X square.
X squared divided by x. First term divided by the whatever we took out outside is x plus 2x divided by x is?
Yes, sir.
What is 2x divided by x?
Sir, 2.
2. Close the
Sir,
bracket.
2.
Okay. Now second term, what is common between 4x and plus 8?
Sir, 4.
No, 4x and 8. What is the common factors there?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, what are the factors of 4x, Krishna?
Sir, I don't know.
Krishna, what are the factors of 4x?
Sir, 2.
2 into 2 into x? Isn't that how we write this?
Yes, sir.
What are the factors of 8?
Yes, sir.
What are the factors of 8, Krishna?
2 into 2 into 2 into 2.
What is common in all of them?
Sir,
What
2.
is the highest common factors are 2 into 2 and 2 into 2? Yes?
Sir, 2.
What is
Yes,
2 into
sir.
2?
Sir, 4.
So won't I take out 4 as the common factor? Did you get this? How to take out common factors?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Divide 4x by 4, what do we get?
Sir, X.
Divide plus 8 by 4, what will we get?
Sir, 2.
Plus 2. Again, is it this common in both the factors again?
Yes, sir.
So I'll take out x plus 2. Open brackets again. X into x plus 2 divided by x plus 2, what are we left with? You've already done this earlier. X plus
Yes, sir.
4. Because 4 into x plus 2 divided by x plus 2 will be left with 4. So this is our final factors. We will do another one. Will be more clearer. Any doubts so far? Any doubts, anyone? I want you to please copy this example. Even this example, the way I've written it, so that you all are clear about what I need to do and how I need to solve this. With practice, this will become very easy. It might be seeming a little complicated right now, but it is very, very simple to do. Please copy this example down. Have you all finished? Anybody still copying? Please don't get lethargic in this exercise, because this is a very important concept. It will be there till 10th. Even in 10th boards, quadratic expressions, factorization comes. Okay. This is one of the basics of algebra, knowing how to factorize a quadratic expression. Raise your hand if you're copying. Okay. Okay, I have another one. 2x squared plus 12x plus 16. Sarah,
Yes, sir.
factorize.
Okay, so
So what do we do?
split the middle term.
Yeah? Tell me, what do we do? Sarah, first step. Parth, your answer is incorrect. Sarah, first step, factorize. Sarah, no idea?
Sorry?
No idea what to do? Tell me, what do I do? I'm giving you the sum 2x squared plus 12x plus 16.
No.
I want you to factorize this. How do we proceed? What kind of expression is this, Sarah? Sarah, if you don't have an idea, please tell us, I don't have an idea, sir. I'll help you out. And if you have an idea, please help me. Tell
I
me
don't know.
what should I do? Avni, that is incorrect.
I don't know, sir.
What are we doing, Sarah?
We are factorizing it.
Okay, so what are the rules of factorization? I've again and again I've been telling you the rules. What is the rule? First step.
So the first step is to
What was the first step that we check? Yes, Parth is correct now.
we find if there's anything common.
Common factor. Is there a common factor in all three?
No,
Mori, that's wrong.
there's no common factor.
Why? Look at 2, 12 and 16, no common there. Okay, x squared, x and no x, I won't get any common. But what about 2, 12 and 16? Nothing common between 2, 12 and 16? Okay, what are the factors of 2, Sarah?
2 and 1.
1 into 2?
Yes.
What are the factors of 12?
2 into 6.
No, 2 into 2 into 3? Factors, prime factors. 6 is not a prime factor. And of 16? So Ramya, that's not correct. What is there of
2
16?
into 2 into
Yeah,
2 into 2 into
2 into 2, right? So nothing
into
common
2.
in all three?
2 again.
No factor is common in all three?
No.
No,
Sorry, 2 is common.
right? So 2 is common in all three. So what do I need to do first? I need to take out 2 and then I'll be putting it as x squared plus 6x plus 8. This is what we just solved. Do you see this step? All of you all missed it out. Parth, Avni, Suramya, Mahuri, that was correct. Parth, Avni, Suramya, did you see that you missed this out? I've been again and again telling you, follow the same sequence of steps. First is always common factor, no matter, even you cannot jump to identities directly. You always have to first take out common factors. Second, see if I can group. And third is identities. Lastly, you cannot proceed without checking on these two. Okay, everyone in factorization, please remember this. Otherwise, you will get wrong answers. Okay. Okay. So let's take another one now. Factorize x squared plus 4x minus 21. Again, common factors, groups, and then identities. All three identities. Difference of squares, perfect square trinomial, and quadratic expression. Go in the same sequence. If you think it's a quadratic expression and nothing else can be done, I'll tell you a simple way to solve this. Try it out for 2 minutes, then I will solve it with one of you. Send me your answers. I'll tell you a very simple way to solve this. Parth, Parth, what is that 0 over there? Yeah, because if you multiply it with 0, what will you get? 0, right? So that'll be wrong. This is not an equation. There's no equal to 0. That is correct, Parth. Okay. I'm going to give you step-by-step way to solve this very simply. So all of y'all please pay attention. And we will solve this. In the meantime, I want you all to try for a minute or two until I teach you. Mohri, that is correct. If anybody is not able to get this, please raise your hand so that I know your concepts are still not clear and I will take one of you and explain it with you. Raise your hand if you're not able to get this. There is no harm or shame in saying I don't know. That's what we are here for. We are here to learn. If you still haven't understood, raise your hand and tell me. I haven't received answers from Avni, Krishna, Rajvi, Sara, Siddhant, and Suramya. Do I assume that you are not know how to solve this, or are you solving it? Only Parth and Mahuri have sent me the answer. Rest of you, do I assume that you're not okay? Avni, that is correct. Suramya, 1 minute more. Siddhant, Sara, Rajvi, Krishna. If you're not able to solve it, raise your hand. Be honest. Be open. Be transparent. Remember, I taught you about TIA? Be transparent with me. And if you're able to solve it, let me know. Okay, Siddhant. Okay, Krishna. See, that's what I'm saying. Be open so that I can teach you all. Sara, Suramya, Rajvi, last 10 seconds. Oh. Okay, Krishna, Siddhant, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Siddhant, unmute yourself. Krishna, keep yourself unmuted. We're going to solve this sequentially, okay?
Okay, sir.
Siddhant,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
keep yourself unmuted and help me now. First steps, what are we going to do is we're going to write the values of A, B, and C. So Krishna, what's the value of A?
Sir, 1.
Plus 1. Okay, write plus 1 minus 1. Siddhant, what's the value of B?
4.
Plus 4. Not 1, 4, only plus 4. What's the value of C, Krishna?
So minus 21.
Minus 21. So first step, you're going to write A, B, and C and write the accommodating values with plus and minus. Is this clear? Siddhant, keep yourself
Yes.
unmuted.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next thing, what we're going to do is
Sir.
we're going to find PQ, which is equal to A into C. What are we going to do? We're going to find PQ, which is equal to A into C. What is A into C? Krishna?
Plus 21.
No. A into plus 1 into minus 21 will be?
Minus 21.
minus 20. Minus 20.
Minus 21, Krishna. How 20? We're doing product. A into C. Not A plus C. Remember we said we want the product which is equal to A into C? Okay. Now we are going to do P plus Q is equal to B. Second step, third step would be this. So this is the first step in which we write down the values of A, B, C. Second step, find out the product and make it equal to AC. And the third step would be to write down the sum of P plus Q and equal to B. So what is the value of B going? What is the sum going to be? Tell me, just B. What is the sum? What's the value of B, Siddhant and Krishna?
Plus 4.
Plus 4. Okay. Is this part clear? All three steps?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just wait for Krishna to rejoin because he's not clear about this. Anybody else? Suramya? Rajvi? Is this clear? Okay. Let's just wait for 1 minute for Krishna to rejoin. Then I'll tell you how do we find these two numbers, P and Q, whose product is minus 21 and sum is plus 4. Remember now? Krishna, unmute yourself. Siddhant, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
So what do we do? Is this part clear, Krishna? The sum is plus 4 and product is minus 21. We want two numbers, right? So let's start with minus 21 as the product. We want the sum as plus 4. Remember this in mind. Start with the factors of 21. What is the easiest factor of 21? 1 and minus 21? Right?
Yes.
Do they add up to 4 in any way? Plus, minus, whatever the sign it may be. Okay, don't take the signs into consideration right now. Just 1 and 21. Can they, with plus, minus, whatever, can I ever have a sum as plus 4 of minus of 1 and 21? It may be minus, plus, whatever it might be.
No, sir.
So let's go further. 2 is not a factor? Is 2 a factor of 21? No?
No, sir.
So let's go to the next factor, 3. So what if I take 3 over here? What will be the next number? 7? 3 into 7 is 21? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now can I combine
Yes, sir.
3 and 7 in such a way that the sum of the numbers is plus 4?
No, sir.
Why? Don't you see that the difference is coming out to be 4 itself? If I have 7 and 3
Yes, sir.
on the number line, there are 4 digits in between. So I can get a 4, right? What if
Yes,
I
sir.
take this as plus 7 and minus 3? Is the sum of plus 7 and minus 3 plus 4 what I'm looking at?
Yes, sir.
So can
Yes,
I
sir.
use this as P and this as Q?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What if my sum was minus 4? Then what would I do, Siddhant or Krishna? What would the factors become in this case? Again, we have 21. I divided this into 3 and 7. Now I wanted a sum as minus 4. So what would the factors, the signs become? Minus 7 plus 4. Again, the sum of minus 7 and plus 4 is minus 4. Siddhant, Krishna, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now we are changing the signs
Yes,
based
sir.
on what sum we want. Right? So we've got the
Yes, sir.
value of P and Q now. Everybody clear about this? Is there anybody
Yes,
who's
sir.
not understood? So what is the value of P? Minus 3. And what is the value of Q? Plus 7. So you see, I just took the product as 21. I didn't even take the sign and just split it into the terms first, into the factors, and then I put a plus minus sign based on the sum I needed. So now what am I going to write this as? X squared plus 7x minus 3x minus 21. I've split 4x into plus 7x and minus 3x. Krishna, clear? What did I need to write it at? I need to write it as x squared plus px plus minus qx and minus 21, right? This is what I've done here. Clear? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Siddhant, understood?
Yes.
Siddhant, have you understood?
Yes.
Now continue further as we've always been doing. Group these two. Group these two. As soon as we see a minus sign outside, what do we do inside? Krishna. Siddhant.
Yes, sir.
What do we do inside as soon as there is a minus outside and I put a bracket? We change the inside to?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Siddhant, tell me the factors of the first term. What is common in the first term?
So x,
Okay. Bracket open. What do we write inside?
x plus 7.
Perfect. Krishna, second term. Minus of what is common between 3x plus 21?
So 3.
Okay. What do I write inside?
So x minus 7. Sorry, x plus 7.
X plus 7. Again, two terms. Anything common in both of them? X plus 7
Yes, sir. X plus 7. Yes, sir.
and x minus 3. So that is our final answer. Did you get this? Now you will see one interesting thing. If the value of A is 1, okay? If the value of A is 1, did you see that P and Q are the factors itself which have come out here? These are the same factors which we had over here. So at this step itself, I could have just written as x minus 3 and x plus 7. I don't need to actually go through this if the value of A is 1. So I can just write it as x plus minus p and again x plus minus q, whatever the numbers of signs of q and p are. If A is 1, if A is not 1, then I can't do this. If A is 1, I can directly write it at x plus minus p and x plus minus q, if once I know the factors. But in your school, you will have to show the workings. This is just to check your answer. In 10th, after 10th, maybe yes, you can use this. But right now in 8th, you need to go through the steps. This is just to check. You will always end up with the same factors in the end if A is 1. Clear? Any doubts so far? So again, write down the values of A, B, C. Okay, first step. Write down the product as equal to AC. Write the sum equal to B. Take the product, split it into factors and see if I can get any combination of the sum required. Remember to take the plus minus into consideration in the sum, not in the product. Okay? Product you need to check, because if I do plus 4, I need to check also that the product is 21. So minus 3 into 7, you do get minus 21. Right? And then you just split it into the middle terms and then group them and solve further. Right? Okay, that's it for maths today. We'll just take a break for 5 minutes and continue with science, physics.